Everybody, and welcome to It's All Black and White TV. Sefton's having a few problems by the looks of it getting connected, so we shall wait for him to come back on. As soon as I see him come on, I'll bring him straight in. So guys, sorry we got out there a little bit late today. But yeah, like I see, he's having a few connection problems, just like I've had this day as well. So my broadband went off last night. It decided to pack up at 11:30 for some reason. Got it back sort of now. So hopefully all good. Um, so yeah, guys, I'll just pop this on for you. There we go. If you like what you see, then please hit the like button as it makes the channel more visible in the search. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button as it helps the channel grow and it's free to do. Finally, hit the bell button. That will notify you when I'm live or put a pre-recorded video on and any upcoming shows. Thank you very much. So yeah, guys, as I say, we're just waiting for Sefton to come back and hopefully he gets his connection and we get him on and Elix. So today you can explain about the Northwest Mags website, give you a proper in-depth into that, let you know what it's all about and how it became around. And also his life as a Newcastle fan as well. So we just wait for him to come back. Gather people will be getting ready to watch this afternoon's game because the game between France and Poland, the winner of that, will potentially play England in the next round of the World Cup in the quarterfinals. So we shall wait and see who wins that game. Ideally, probably I think we'd all prefer Poland to win that game, but if not, if it's got to be France, it's got to be France, and we just have to try and beat what's in front of you. Simple as, but we've got to do the job first tonight, that's for sure. So I'll just see if he's ready to come on. Bring him up there. Still having a few issues. I'll just keep him in the backstage until he comes on screen, and I'll bring him in. So let's get into some comments before we start. Hi Tony and Sefton, says Rolly. Where's me at the moment until we get Sefton in. He's gone again. I think he's having some problems with his connection, so we'll just have to wait. Leslie says, afternoon all. Afternoon, Leslie. Hope you're well. And Mighty Max says, afternoon, Tony, Sefton, Rolly, and Stapleton. The lads have jetted out on Saudi flight as we speak. Yep, they're off for a training camp. And they've got a friendly arranged out there as well. So, yeah, all part of the fitness. It's like a pre-season, but it's not a pre-season. Well, do you call it a pre-season? I'm not really sure because it's a mid-season break, isn't it? But it's a 6-week mid-season break, not just a winter break, is it? So it's but yeah. Leslie says, afternoon, mate. My name is Les or Leslie, but answer to anything, to be honest, laughing. Yeah. But yeah, so the lads have flew out to Saudi Arabia and yeah. And hopefully we'll get all the players fit again, and then we'll be up and running by Boxing Day. Well, by the 20th, before we play Leicester on Boxing Day. We got Bournemouth first, so play them in the cup. Get through the next round of the Carabao Cup, and then from there, let's see how it goes. And hopefully we kick back on in the Premier League as we finished off just before the World Cup break with that 1-0 win against Chelsea. Sefton's back in the green room, just waiting for him to appear on screen. I think he's still having problems with his internet, and we'll get him straight on. Mighty Mag, have they got a friendly out there? Yes, they have got a friendly out there. Can't remember who it is against, some Saudi team now. I think it might be. I don't think it's Al Hilal that played the last time. I'm not sure who it is, but yeah, they've got a friendly arranged there. And then there's obviously the friendly at St James against Rayo Vallecano. So yeah, so again, so guys, I don't know if you saw yesterday, but I was in a secret location yesterday and I put a video out there. It's had a really good response to that video, and yeah, it's it was. Oh, he's gone again, Sefton. I think he's having some problems. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to get on or not. Hopefully, he will do, but we shall see. Leslie says, yeah, they're playing Al Hilal. I think that's what I was thinking, but maybe not. Rolly says, no, I think it's Al Nessa. Yes, actually, now you've said it, that sounds more like the team now. So, yeah, thank you for that Rolly. That's the team, I think, yeah. And Leslie says, thanks, Rolly, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if you got to see the video yesterday, you would have saw where I was, and yes, it wasn't. It was very cold there as well. By the way, it was only 5 degrees Celsius, so not very warm, and hence why I only done 12 minutes. I was going to do the England preview from there, but I thought no, it's too cold. I need to go. But once I got back to the car, put the heating on, and it was lovely. So yeah. And Paul's in there. Very good afternoon, Tony. Good afternoon to you, Paul, and thanks for the shout on Twitter, mate. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. And he says hi, Les, as well. Yeah, so guys, like I say, waiting for Sefton, trying to get a decent connection so we can get him in, and then hopefully we can find out off the man himself about this Northwest Max website. A lot more than I can give you. And oh, he's back. Here we go. Let's bring him in now. And good afternoon, Sefton. How are you? I think he's froze again. Have you froze again? I think you have. I'll bring him back out and then bring him back in once I see he's absolutely fine with that. So we'll bring him back in as soon as his connection's established and get him back on screen as well. I mean, guys, what's your thoughts on this afternoon's game between France and Poland? Who's going to win that one? And what will the score be in that game as well? So get your comments in the chat, get your thoughts in the chat. Who's going to win that, France or Poland? And what will the score be? I did see it last night. I would sneak Poland a 2-1 win, if I'm honest. I know France made changes against Tunisia, but again, this World Cup threw up some funny results. I mean, Australia nearly pulled off the unthinkable last night, didn't they? So, yeah, I mean, they could have so easily got an equaliser through Newcastle-bound Garang Kowal, but fortunately, and yeah, lucky that. So, very unlucky from Garang Kowal on that one. But yeah. Can't see Poland beating the Frogs, the French. Yeah, well, who knows? Stranger results have happened in this tournament. So I wouldn't bet against it if I'm honest. France likely to win, but love Poland to bring in the shock to the tournament. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we don't want Senegal to bring the shock tonight either, do we? So let's hope we got there and we do the business and beat them. I'm just still waiting for Sefton to come back. I mean, yes, last night's game was pretty entertaining in the end between Argentina and Australia. I mean, Australia did go for it, but ultimately fell short. Maybe the mistake with the goalkeeper, Matt Ryan, in the second half didn't help that cause either. So, it's one of those things. But let's see what happens this afternoon. As I say, you never know. Shocks can happen. But I'm still waiting for Sefton again. He's gone again. I think he's having some real connection issues. So just waiting to see where he's going to be. And he says he's still trying. Yeah. So that's not a problem. I'll just, like I say, when I get him there, I'll bring him straight in. And yeah. So I'll just reply to him and say, yeah, no problem. As soon as I see you. Okay, let's let him know. No worries, mate. So, yeah, so hopefully you'll be back in shortly, Sefton Mag. So yeah, so like we say, the guys have flown out. Don't know if we've got any pictures, but I'm going to have a look and see if there's any. As of the Brazil camp, where they're seeing Bruno's sort of being left out in the cold by other players there. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Fans saying that they don't know why he's in the Brazil squad. Well, sorry, the Brazil fans are that deluded to why he's in the Brazil squad. Then I don't really get that one, because he's one of Brazil's best players, and he certainly is at our club, that's for sure. So I just think it's a silly one to come up with, But yeah, I mean, get your thoughts in, guys. What do you make of that? There's nothing on. There's nothing on at the moment from Newcastle about them leaving out, but yeah. But they did put this on yesterday. So I'll just quickly show you this one. So they put this on. This come on it. Welcome to the world stage, Garan Kowal. So Newcastle put that on last night, saying he's the youngest player since Pelé to play in the tournament. So there you go. Absolutely fantastic. So, right, we've got Sefton, so let's bring him in now.
Good afternoon, at last. At last.
Oh, it takes a while to get in sometimes.
I felt like I was going to throw this laptop onto the Christmas tree and start singing Merry Christmas to everybody on the chat, but I've got it. I've got it sorted. I was going to do reviews on Norton antivirus, but I've changed my mind now because I'm at war. Good afternoon, everyone. Great to be on show, Tony. Doing a fantastic job, and I like to support you because originally, historically, you're only up the road from me in our younger days.
Yes, I was. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
yeah, across the playing fields.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But anyway, I finally got on, and good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's well on this Sunday, and it's just amazing I finally got on because I was starting to give up hope.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. While you were off, while you were trying to get on connection-wise, I mean, we're just talking about the France-Poland game, and I'm saying last night I said I could see Poland making a shock here and winning this 2-1. Now, people are saying that probably France will win. I mean, your thoughts? How do you see that game going this afternoon? Who would you rather see in the quarters?
I think, to be honest with you, I've been reading the reviews quickly. People are texting me and emailing me about this afternoon, the England game. I can see France winning 4-0. I think France. I think France are just watch. I've been watching a few teams like from like a shock Germany. I've been watching some of the stage games when time's allowed, but I can actually see France beating Poland 4-0 tonight. This afternoon is a 3 o'clock kickoff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But I can't see Poland beating France. I can't see it. I can't see it at all. But one thing I'm glad about, Tony, is Germany are out. Because my fear was, it always has been, is Pellant, the pen. It always goes to pens, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like we see there. There you go. German despair on the screen there.
German despair. Yeah, I like it.
We're seeing that, and then we'll see the group winners, Japan.
Yes. unbelievable. This, like I keep saying, this World Cup is just unbelievable, isn't it? It's just bringing up surprises time and time again,
Yeah.
and it's like you don't know what's wrong. I've just got. I shouldn't be saying this really, but I've got a sneaking feeling England will go all the way.
Do you know, I've got that feeling. I mean, as I've said the other night, people, I know we say get Southgate out and things like that because up to the tournament we hadn't done well. We didn't win in 6 games in that Nations League.
Yeah,
But you look at Southgate and you see him in tournaments. First tournament in Russia, he got to the semi-finals. Fair enough, we should have probably got the final, but we didn't. We got the
yeah,
semis. Got the final of the Euros, lost that on penalties, which, to be fair, we shouldn't have. We should have been better than that.
yeah,
Um, and this World Cup, we're in the knockout stages again, and we were the top scorers in all the groups with 9 goals.
yeah.
And it was
I,
only
I'll be
ourselves and Netherlands who went through unbeaten
yeah. I'll
from the
be
groups. I mean,
interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he freshen the team up tonight. You know, with Phillips, Dyer, Trippier, Wilson. It's on Madison. Give him, but he'd probably be keeping to the same team against the Welsh, won't he? Which is the Pickfords,
well,
the Walker Stones, Maguire, Shaw, etc.
I think drop
Kane,
Walker for
Rashford.
Trippier because I don't think Walker had a great game that night. So I'll take Walker out and
No.
put Trippier back in. This lad's got to
Yeah, I
stay
would
in
say.
tonight, though. Phil
Yeah,
Foden,
yeah,
he's got to stay in.
yeah, yeah.
I,
Like I said, I think I'm just as a Newcastle United supporter, quite disappointed that the three lads, like Pope, is not getting the game. But
yeah.
but hopefully, as we're getting here to the final, players stock. Wouldn't it be great if we Wilson scored the winner in the World Cup final?
Oh, wouldn't it just? And hopefully this guy starts as well tonight, Marcus Rashford as well. I mean,
Yeah,
he's joint top
yeah,
scorer in the World Cup, 3 goals. So,
yeah. He's online for
and
the
this
Golden
guy,
Boot, isn't he?
yeah, and this guy's having a baller as well. He's only going to get better and better. So,
Yeah,
all positives to
yeah.
look forward to. And
Are you all excited for the game, Tony, tonight?
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get the job done and we beat Senegal. I'm going for a 2-0 win. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I'll be honest with you, Toe. I'm quite disappointed that I've been out today, and I can't see one flag on a car.
that is,
Just
isn't it?
me.
It's no. I think it's just because I don't know if it's because it's in the winter and people are just like not really bothering as such. Because it is a strange time to have a World Cup in the winter, and hopefully it never
Yeah.
happens again.
But I'm just
I
wondering if
mean,
anybody in the chat put comments below if anybody has seen a flag on a car
and
anywhere.
I
I,
know
I think
Paul,
I've
who's
seen
in the chat.
two.
I think Paul Gallant, who's in the chat, I think he put it. Yes, he did. He said he's put the flags on his car. If I'm right, Paul, get that in the chat, mate. I'm sure that's what you said. You put flags on. I mean, the German fans are complaining, saying they went out on a controversial goal. Now, okay, so they've gone out on a
Yeah,
controversial goal. Do you think, right? Now, let's go. Now, these German fans have got very, very short memories now. Now,
yeah,
if they think back to 2010, and I'm sure some of them were around in 2010 and watching that game in South Africa, when Frank Lampard scored what should have been an equaliser for England to make it 2-2 after Upson were back into the game,
yeah,
when the ball was miles over the line, further over the line than what that ball is, and Neuer pulls it back. How any officials never saw that, and yet the
yeah,
Germans are complaining about that goal. Now, sorry, you've got short memories because had we got that equaliser against them back in 2010, we would have ran right in the second half and beat them Germans because we were on the up then. And it
yeah.
was just because of the luck of that goal not being given that the Germans went on in the second half because I think our heads dropped. But that goal is definitely a legitimate goal because there is
To be
no
honest
way
with
that ball has not fully crossed the line.
Yeah, to be honest with you, when I first watched it, I had obviously I've got to do a lot of catch ups because of my work schedule. But when I first seen that, I thought, oh, that's out. And when you looked at it on the VAR and the that type of shot, yeah, the ball's still in play.
Yeah.
So
Or because the
it's
curvature of the ball is just on the line, so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just over.
yeah. I'm
I
still
wonder how
looking
many
at
of
it
this is
now.
going to happen. Do you
Yeah,
think it's going to happen in the Premier League? Do you think they're going to do that now?
I think it's. I think we're still learning on the VAR. Sorry, Till, my microphones have gone off.
Yeah,
That's it. Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Right, brilliant. Yeah, I think it's still a learning curve, which I think Newcastle United, especially at home and away, I don't, and you get this impression that it's a vendetta against us, refereeing and the FA, and its decisions have been going against us. But it's still a new system basically. But we're lucky to get a few. Like for example, that goal, which the Germans thought the ball was out. I mean, you would never thought anything like that. Like, for example, 1966 World Cup final, they think it's all over, and it is now. When the Germans were moaning then that it wasn't a goal because was it Jeff Hurst hit the crossbar
yeah,
and it came down. And still to this day, the Germans are saying, "Oh, it was never a goal out," But yeah, whingers, aren't they? At the end of the day.
yeah. Bad losers. We've seen it with Kel Havertz when we beat Chelsea. We saw what he done. But I'm going to pop into some comments here. So Leslie says
Okay.
France likely to win, but Paul would love Poland to bring another shark. And also says, I thought Bruno didn't look happy during the tournament. Shocking treatment if true. Brazil fans are fools. Absolutely. I'm going to come to that in a minute with you, Sefton. Leslie says, nice to see you, Sefton. Gordon says,
Good to see you, Leslie.
looks like Saka's back tonight. Yeah,
That's
maybe.
interesting.
That is interesting. Good afternoon, lad, says Gary. Good afternoon to you,
Hi,
Gary.
Gary.
Hope you're well, mate. Leslie says, if in the final England win and Kane is out, Trippier will lift the World Cup. Yes, because he's vice captain.
Yeah. Yeah, he is vice captain, isn't he? Yeah.
Paul, yeah, I thought you were, Paul. He says the England flag's on his mum's car in Nottingham. Yeah,
Well done, Paul. Well
great
done.
effort, mate.
Yeah,
Mason
100%.
says, Wenger said that Germany lost focus at the World Cup due to political demonstrations. Yeah, maybe, but still, they should. They're not a great German team, unfortunately. So,
No.
yeah, they're not a great German side. Too many oldies in the team like Muller and Neuer. I think their time's finished now.
Yeah.
Mighty
Yeah.
Mac, this World Cup just hasn't got the feel to it. They're killing the song when a goal comes on free from desire. Yeah, I mean, I know every time a goal scored, they play that. They're playing the song, and it's like, do you really need to play music? It's like when we played Norwich down at Carrow Road. As soon as there's a goal scored, they start playing a tune, and it's like, why? Why
Yeah,
do
it's
you
annoying,
need it?
isn't
You
it?
know?
It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah. Paul says, yeah, hi, Sefton. I've only seen one other car with England flags down here. There we go. Not many at all. I haven't seen any. I've seen a couple up on somebody's house, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Leslie says, Japan, Saudi, and Australia have lifted the World Cup for me. Otherwise, a bit meh. We used to see but we're used to Newcastle's intensity. Yeah. I mean, Japan have done well, but I did say to somebody at work, and people looked at me and thought I was a bit strange and probably thought I'd lost the plot, but I said, on that first game, I says, Japan will beat Germany. And he said, no, I've got a bet on. It's a banker. It's a German win. He says, I'd even put my house on. And I went, don't do that. I says, because Japan will win it. And what happened? Japan turned around and won that game. I got
I
that
was,
right.
yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked at that. I mean, when you look at the groups and the teams like Belgium, who've been, and obviously Germans have all been knocked out. It's like this. It's becoming like when I watched the Brazil game the other night, and it's like England have got nothing to be frightened of here.
No.
England have not got to worry. I'd be interested to see the game to look at the French this afternoon to see how them play. But I think I think I did a tweet last night about I had the impression that the Netherlands were toying with the USA. It was like, we're going forward, hanging back in defence. I just thought the Netherlands, it's starting to open up the World Cup for, how can I say it, the Dutch. And it'd be
Yeah,
interesting to see how France play today. It'd be really interesting to see how them play. But so far in this World Cup, again, like I said, it's been unpredictable, and it's some of it been eye openers. Do I agree where it's been held? And the answer to that is no. Um, but that's UEFA for you. Um, and I just think we've got a hell of a chance. I think it's our turn. It's coming home. Come on, it's coming home. It's coming home, people. Have faith. And it's like I'm all excited as well because you miss a Premier League, and when you go outside, it's freezing cold and there's ice on the car, and you say, "Oh, there's a match today, the World Cup,"
yeah,
and you seem to get jealous when you're watching that weather out there, and it's like, "Oh wow," and it's like, yeah. But I've enjoyed it. I think the World Cup is it's been. I'll be honest with you, Tony, and the chat.
yeah,
I made up that the two players are not playing because that brings them fresh back to when we
yeah.
kickstart the Premiership again. So in one hand, I'm missing watching, your Wilsons, your Trippiers, but at the same time, I would love it if we won the World Cup. I would absolutely would. The car flag will stay on the car all year, and we've only got a month into the year, by the way. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it. It's been brilliant. So,
yeah, it has.
um,
It's been
can I
absolutely
can I
fantastic.
can I move on to our fantastic website and tell your um, chat how to find it and why it was set up?
You
Um,
certainly can, Sefton. It's your stage, so you go ahead
okay,
and
okay. I've been living in Merseyside over 30 years, and I was travelling a lot around the northwest area on my previous jobs. And every time I went to places like Ellesmere Port, Neston, Wales, even Birkenhead, Tranmere, there was always somebody who would say, Geordie accent. And I go, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. How long you? And the questions are always asked, well, what you doing? Where you living? Well, and every time the you explain the situation, uh, the fan base, it's the best in the world. And everybody seemed to agree that, the Newcastle United are the best fans in the world. And everybody I met was a Newcastle United fan. And then, of course, when it was a post-pandemic, I just had this idea. I was going on Twitter a lot, which I don't really go out for followers, be honest with you, because I like to keep an eye on the Newcastle United fan base and the team, the club, and I was talking to Wirral Mags, Steve, and nice guy, and I was talking to him on Twitter, and we come across the conversation. I would personally love to know how many expats Newcastle fans, because it's not just expats pats in the northwest. It's you have I knew a doctor, if Newcastle United fan, lives in where did he live? I think he lived St Helens way and stuff like that. So I used to say
yeah,
to him, well, I had this idea, and I put it to Steve and a few other people on Twitter on a private message. And I says, should we set a website up to see actually how many fans around the Northwest who support Newcastle United to have one fan base? And so we decided yes. And I've got to say, it's a profitable website. You know, we're not asking for money. We're not asking for donations. It was basically set up by myself because I wanted to know how many fans we have, not only basically in the northwest, but around the UK. There must be other fan bases, not just in the northeast. I call it the motherland, but how many fans are around the UK and how many fan groups we have? Like on our chat, on our WhatsApp chat, Northwest Mags, we have Fleetwood Mags, Wirral Mags, we've got we've got people, expats, supporters who we have a daily chat on subjects of football and transfers, the takeover, when the takeover happened. So I had this idea. So I set the motion in place. And if people go on it, you will see what it's about us. Why basically we set it up, what's going to happen, what we'd like in the future, and we've got a forum now. There's Steve there. Hi, Steve. The problem which in today's society and the worldwide media, I've got a security on there. So, for example, if you went on there, Tony, it'll probably ask you for your email address to send you the code. Now, for why I set that up is because I don't want anybody. I've blocked over 80 individuals posting on there because of their content. Our content on there is, if you read down, is what I put on, like the soundtrack from Junior Turner. Such a great guy he is, by the way. He's so approachable. And the next time I'm out to Ginger's Park, I'm gonna basically buy him a pint. And then I had a few messages. I don't want to port the code in because you would say I don't. It's the security on the system that actually detects if you basically got a bogus an account. That's the only reason. If you try logging in and it's asking you for a code, which it sends it to you, and you put the code in. It's the only way of safeguarding other people in that chat.
Yeah.
And I get a message, by the way, to say, Tony's posted England 3, so on, so on. So that's the simple reason. I could take it down, but to police it, it's a 24-hour police thing. It's anybody could post anything on that. And I don't want that. I'm an old school when it comes to people's content and what they post. And I wanted all it to be about Newcastle United. That's the only reason I'm doing it for. And of course, if you look further down, I put happy anniversary, 12 months since the takeover. In the podcast shows, I'm a great believer in entertainment. Time allowed. If Pete's got Pete on there, I've got yourself. I've got NUFC Matters on there, Steve Riff, another the brilliant guy, and Loaded Mag, which is shows I really enjoy. The next step is to take this forward. I want to do events, again, non-profitable. Um, it's basically a website, so people can go on there. You can join in. You can come over if you wish onto our WhatsApp group, which is Northwest Mags. And the chat we've got on there is amazing. You're on there yourself. You don't understand what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
people on there are so friendly. Um, they are amazing people. Knowledgeable is unbelievable. Like, for example, I didn't realise we have Chris Loaded Mag. He only lives, I think, around about a mile and a half up the road from me. And it's like, wow. So you don't know, up the street or down, or around the corner, you're having your Castle United fan, and it's always been my ambition since setting this website up. I want to go out and find little pockets of fans that want to come and join us. So once we start winning, by the way, this wasn't set up because of the takeover. I've always followed Newcastle United since the 90s, when I was 10 years of age. I'm not going to tell you the age I am now, but I've followed Newcastle United through the dark days, through the bad days, and some of the Keegan eras, the good days. And it's a case of when I've met, when we eventually do events, as in away games or take a bus up to the northeast for a home game, FA Cups, hopefully Champions League, etc., etc. So the website is basically still in the early stages of development, and of course, it's amazing to meet all different kinds of people who actually support Newcastle United, and the amount of questions as well. And I've got to say this: a lot of Liverpool and Everton fans love it. I've showed them it and they said, "Wow, that's a great idea." A friend of mine who lives in Berkshire, he's a big Liverpool fan. He keeps in touch via YouTube on channels like yours, Tony.
Yeah.
And that's a great idea, setting something up. Now, what do we want out of it? I don't want anything out of it, to be honest with you. All I want is to have a fan base that we all can get together and say, for example, if we play Peterborough United in the FA Cup, say, right, okay, put it on. How many we've got in a certain area? For example, we have majority of the supporters who live in the Wirral, who live in Ellesmere Port, who live in St Helens, who live in Litherlands. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. So somebody in the chat did ask me, can I do a map if where our fans are based? And if I was to do that map, it would take us hours. It would take us days, weeks, because we're that scattered around up towards Blackpool, Lancashire. It would take us just a lot of time to do it. So I've got to upgrade the system because I'm going to keep the forum the same because that is my benefits of security for it. I'm not saying blocking everybody out of it. That's not the case. All it asks you for is your email address for them to send you a code, which I don't say, by the way. And what does happen, I get the message what somebody has posted, and I just click, yeah, post it, and that goes on. Now, if you go more as a news, which I'm going to, once the season starts again, I'm going to put more news on about the club. And also, I'm a big, I've got this big thing about ticket scams. I feel sorry for hardworking people who work hard for their money and pass their hard-earned money to somebody who doesn't. And we're seeing it all the time. We see it all the time on Twitter. People who've been scammed over tickets, and this is put that safeguard in place for people to have a little look. And would I buy a ticket from somebody I didn't know? The answer to that is no.
No.
If it was the FA Cup final, would I buy a ticket off somebody I didn't know? The answer to that is no. In the meantime, I was lucky enough to get from the club the membership. The membership pack came, and I thought, wow, what a great way to get tickets or etc. etc. Now I didn't realise how hard it was getting one of these packs. Do I think it's a waste of money? No. I keep them forever now. It's part of the NUFC culture to get be part of the club like I was in the 70s, 80s, before I came down from Edinburgh. And the love for the club has always been there. And the shock, the shock and awe, once we were taken over by Amanda Staley and the PIF, I was just shocked. I was just couldn't believe I couldn't believe it. And all I could think is was, I wish this happened in the 1980s, 1990s, when I was younger. And it's like, wow, it's a future now for us. So the website is basically built on the foundation of the support around the Northwest and the UK. I've had messages from Scotland, would you mind if I jump in on the job? Well, I don't mind actually, but you've got to understand a lot of our group or chat are based around the Northwest. And it's not getting away from the main hub of Newcastle United fan base. That's not what it's for. It's basically saying rooting out our Toon Army base to come and join us. One base, one region. I know we're only 189 miles up the road from the city centre, but it's a lot more detail to go into that, but I haven't had time. People send me questions, and I go into AFQ, and I post them in there. Like, for example, how much is this? Well, we don't want any money at all, and of course, I'm only doing it to try and gain more members around the region. Is that a good thing? Bad thing? It's a good thing, because the more members we get around the Northwest, it means we can fill 52-seater bus, we can fill a minibus, we can get discount on transportation. The podcast, which you're looking at now with Pete and John Sinclair, well, basically the ones to start watching. And if I go out with the dog to the park, and my wife goes absolutely ballistic because she's talking away to us, and 10 minutes later, I said, I take the earpiece out. What did you say? Because I'm listening to podcasts constantly. And of course, me notification, which, by the way, everybody, click the like button, which is down there. Yeah. And subscribe, hit the bell, notifications button. That would give you notifications of Tony's next show, which is coming up. So basically, that's the website. You can send us direct emails on there. Do I want to? I was going to put food banks, Liverpool Food Bank, Merseyside Food Bank, the Townside Food Bank on there, but I'm thinking that much money is so hard with which is economical way of life now, that I'm tended not to go down that route, because me and my wife always donate to charities anyway. So does everybody in the chat, no doubt. So I don't want to be asking for anything on the website. I was toying for the idea of merchandising, but I think that's for the future. Like mags, Northwest Mags pen, cup. But I think everybody, I think you may need to be big in the clubs for people to buy that. I don't think there'd be a call for Northwest Mags t-shirt or a Northwest Mags hat, etc. But that's for the future. I'm keeping an eye on the numbers on the administration side to see how many clicks I'm getting, which it's good so far. But I've had a few coming over on WhatsApp, and of course, if you're living in the Northwest, if you're living up towards Blackpool, if you're living in Wales, come and join us on WhatsApp. You find the details on our website at www.northwest.com, and come and join us. Join in on the WhatsApp chat. Some amazing people on there. I think one comes on, or Rory, doesn't he? So knowledgeable, such a nice fella.
Yes.
Chris Chris Hall, he comes on. He's unloaded mag. So this, it's just amazing people on there, and given and we have a laugh as well. We do have a laugh, and of course, I like supporting podcasts like yourselves, John Sinclair's, Pete's. I know NUFC Matters and Loaded Mag are quite big in the media, but shows like yourself bring to light the enjoyment of football. That's all anybody wants, and John Sinclair's prime example of that. He's so confident, and he's so knowledgeable, like yourself, of football with your England squad and Newcastle United. So basically, that's the fundamental issues of the northwestmags.com website. It's just to gain that extra, like, okay, where are you? We want you to come in. You don't have to be alone when Newcastle United are playing Liverpool, Everton, Tranmere. We want you on board to give you the support, because it's not nice. It's not nice when you see when you're hearing the jealousy coming out when we were taking over the PIF, and I'd be honest with you, I didn't get that much because people know me, and I don't take any flack. I think that's the future anyway for the Premiership. I think we're all going to go towards the Middle East for ownership and money getting ploughed in. But I'm excited. I'm excited to what the future holds. It's going to be an amazing time for everybody. And jump on the train and let's go for this journey.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you for explaining that, Sefton, to everybody in the chat. So everybody now knows northwestmags.com. Also, not if there's people out not in the chat, but any fellow fans, Newcastle fans, share the website out, get it out there, and get them to come on and have a look, because it's absolutely brilliant. I'm going to go into some comments. Paul says, I've got England flags in the bedroom window, only one in my street. Bizarre. Yeah, like I say, there's not really a great deal for this World Cup, is there? Mighty Max says, Tony, I said on your show when Spain was live at half time that Spain will throw the game to knock Germany out and let Japan through. Well, I'm not sure if they did throw it, but I think that at one point Costa Rica were ahead, so Germany and Spain were heading out the tournament. I mean, if that was their idea, thinking, we'll be all right, we'll go through, because Costa Rica won't win. Well, that's a silly mistake to make, and hope that wasn't the case. Paul says, just been sharing. Thanks very much, Paul, for all your hard work, mate. Thank you. Gary says,
nice fella, by the way, Tony.
Sorry?
Nice fella, Paul.
He is, yes. Gary says, girls done it now. Can the men do it, lads? Why not? If Gareth Southgate plays with attacking football, we've got the talent in that squad to win that. And Declan Rice came out and made a statement the other day that we've probably got one of the best squads in the World Cup. So let's see it now then, if that's the case. I want to see it. Paul says, my England flags go on hire cars. Mum's car's going back to the garage for 14 days, so my flags will fly. Excellent. Carry it on, Paul. Yeah, definitely. Pete's in the chat. Mr. Proudlook.
Respect, brother.
He says, I'm still waiting to see your chips and mustard combo, Sefton. He wants a picture of it so he can put it on his food pics.
I thought I sent him one.
I don't know. Has he not sent you one, Pete?
I think I have. I did send him one.
If you're ever off on a Friday night, Sefton, get on his show, his football show. You'll have to go on one night on a Friday night.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Again, another great podcaster, Pete. He's, and what's the other one? I generally jump into halfway through when I'm getting time. Time's allowed, basically, but I tend to watch now and then, catch up. If I'm off, I tend to. I'm just seeing if my wife's about. If she hasn't got us any jobs, I tend to watch the shows live. But there's so many out there. I wish there was like a TV Times thing of the podcasts. Yeah. It's it would be boss that, wouldn't it? If you all got
Yeah,
together and say, right, I'm having my schedule then, I'm having my schedule then, I'm having my schedule then, and I'm Monday to Thursday, I'm live with a forum on a Friday. It, but it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. I think, like I said to you before, I really enjoy them because of the crack you get on the podcast. I think I read one of Pete's before I came on live about John Sinclair. And I can't remember what it was, but it was hilarious. It was something about the World Cup or something, but it was fun. I love witty comments, and I think, and another thing I can't get your head around really is why do people come on and troll?
why do
I
they what? Sorry.
can never, I can never, I could never understand why people in the public domain come on shows like yours, Pete, NUFC Matters, Loaded Mag, the review, so on and so on, and troll presenters.
Yeah, I mean, to be
I
fair,
could
I
never
haven't had
understand
that
that.
yet. I've had I've had the I've had the messages from spam in the chat before, like these XXX sites, but I just block them as soon as I see them. Um, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I haven't had it personally being trolled yet, and hopefully it never happens. People shouldn't be trolled. I mean, I did last season when Fans Forum used to be on NUSC Matters. I used to go on there quite regular with Chris and Pete. Um, and I was on there one night when I was on the show actually talking at the time with Pete when somebody racially abused him on there, and that was absolutely disgusting.
Crazy
That, and
stuff.
there's no room for that,
Absolutely
absolutely
crazy stuff.
whatsoever. There's no
Uh,
room for it,
no, I
and I was
can't.
absolutely disgusted. And I messaged Pete and said, "Are you okay, mate?" You know, because I mean, it was just absolutely disgraceful. But it
But you
happens,
see,
and
yeah, of
it
course,
shouldn't
Tony,
happen.
and of course, I like meeting new people from the chat. Like for example, Lewis, unbelievable guy, knowledgeable about Newcastle United. Paul, who's on there, who's put a comment there now,
Yeah,
brilliant. Um, and you see it a lot around the YouTube podcasts. Somebody take your eye and go, God, he's got a point, or she's got a point. And it's like, and then when somebody puts a stupid comment on, you're like, oh, why? Go and do something else. Take up fishing or something.
yeah,
It's a Newcastle United base. We're all one family at the end of the day. And it's like. It's like my wife, big Liverpool fan. I've got family who are big Liverpool fans, Everton fans. I've never seen once anybody in Liverpool or in Merseyside say anything against Newcastle United ever. The fan base, a lot of
yeah,
them I speak to are so happy about them. The best fans, controversial best fans in the world, which I think they are because I'm biased.
yeah,
You know, I,
absolutely.
I mean, if you remember, well, you're probably not because I'm a lot older than you, Tony. But you done a show yesterday at Wembley, the secret location, which is Wembley, and that brought back amazing memories, absolutely amazing memories. And it's like when I'm trying to think who scored for us. Alan Gowling, was Alan Gowling, wasn't it? Who scored? Was it Alan Gowling? Sorry, got off. Alan Gowland scored for us, wasn't it? And the when we played Man City in the League Cup final, because Mick Mahoney was a goal. Then you had your Irvin Natris,
Yes,
that type of, and Stuart Barraclough, and you know, uh, and Gordon Lee, who was the manager then, who sadly is not
oh,
with us anymore. Sadly
yeah,
passed away in March this year.
the most
And it's
controversial
like,
manager in history, probably because of what he'd done to Malcolm McDonald, won it.
oh yeah, I was gutted. I actually cried. Actually cried when Malcolm Supermac left. It's like wow. He was. Well, I'm on the playing field being Supermac
Yeah,
without the left foot. But yeah, it's sad. It's what we went through in that year, and that brought back a lot of memories when you were like looking at the plaque from 1976, when we got beat up Manchester City, and it's like we've just been. And remember, on the route, if my memory's correct again, and if I'm wrong, leave your comment in the chat. If my memory's correct, we beat Southport 6-0 on the road to Wembley. How that fight, Southport was just up the road. Um, but I can't. I'm sure we played Southport in 1976 because I'm sure I went.
Yeah, I
You
won't
know.
remember. I was only 4 year old then, Sefton, so I was only four. So I was still a toddler.
Yeah, point taken. Yeah. But it's amazing the average team the average age of that team possibly now around about the 76, 80 era, 80 years of age era. And it's like looking at our players now. It's like, wow, it's another breed, isn't it? It's like all the players we've had historically, um, compared to what we got now, like your Brunos, your Trippiers, and it's like, wow, it's just another setup, isn't it? On the road
I
to
mean,
free stardom.
yeah. I mean, Paul says he met you in the Dog and Parrot with Steve Wraith.
Yes.
Rowley says, great summary, Sefton. Pablo says, how are you, Tony and Sefton? Let's see England smash Senegal today. Hope you're well, Pablo. Good lad is Pablo. Good friend of mine as well. So well done, Pablo. Mason says, I thought one of the YouTube channels you've shown was for Man U fans. For Man U fans, no, they definitely won't be on there, that's for sure.
No, that's for sure. Yeah.
England 3-0, says Paul.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Pete says doesn't come through, Sefton, so you'll have to resend them, I think.
I have to. I'm just checking to see if Mrs. Sefton's about. I will get
We
Mrs.
need to
Sefton to make it good.
yeah. Or we need to get Pete on the WhatsApp group as well.
Yes. Like I said, it's the WhatsApp group was set up a few months ago now, and it's really taken off really good. And like I keep repeating myself, there's some amazing people on there that from every walks of life, and it's like I quite enjoy when I'm finished work and I'm driving home. And I get home and I open my WhatsApp, and there's all these different messages from our group, and if where do you get this information from? It's like how we just bought woods. Where there's always seemed to be somebody in that group who's got knowledge of something that's happening tomorrow or next week, and it's like, well, I love gossip. I think gossip is just made for football, and it's like, wow. And of course, when we were going for Botman, there was speculation on NUFC matters and Loaded Mag, John C. Clare's channel, the Tomb Review and stuff like that. Everybody's got a different name in the hat. I think we went through something like I can't even remember how. I think I had to calculate it out. I think we went through to like 8,000 names
Yeah.
in the English Premier, in the English League who was like going to sign for Newcastle United. But yeah, some happy times coming up, and I've just been reading Paul's comment there. Top cast for Steve, top
Yeah.
spot, Magpie channel, yeah, Newcastle Fans TV and thousands each other. We are small, but unbelievable. Yeah, it's Newcastle fan base. It's a one and only, isn't it? It's a bit like the Newcastle Brown Neil advertisement, isn't it? The one and only. It's just an
Yeah.
amazing club. It's amazing fans. But then again, it always has been.
Yeah, it has been. I mean, Leslie says, agree, Sefton, there's one popular NUFC podcast I don't like, so I don't go on it easy. No need to spew rubbish at or about people, just move on. Absolutely. If you don't like a channel, you don't have to watch it. You move on to the next one, whatever.
100%, yeah, 100%. 100%.
Um,
100%.
I mean, if I put stuff out, if I do a transfer show, I'll always say it's a rumor, and I'm stipulate it's a rumor. It's not good. It's not that we are signing this player,
Yeah.
because what I don't want to do is go out there and say, oh yeah, we're going to sign this person, and then all of a sudden this player doesn't sign. Then you get hammered with a whole load of crap. And do you know what? You don't do it. Simple as.
No. No.
some people go out. I mean, I've seen some channels where they go out there and they say, "Oh, this player's signing for this club and this player's going to that club." And I'm not talking Newcastle channels, by the way. I'm talking to that clubs. And you look at them, you think, why on earth are you putting yourself in that position? Because if it doesn't happen, one, you're going to have egg on your face, and two, you're going to have a whole load of stick from your fan base. It's up,
Yeah.
and I just think, do you know what? And so I try and keep it real. I try and tell it as it is.
Yeah.
And if it's a rumor, I'll say it's a rumor. I'm not saying this player's definitely turning up. It's just a rumor. Or if it's a player I like, I would say yes, I would like him at the club. It's not definitely he's coming in, but if we've got him in our sights, then great. If he comes, he comes. He doesn't, he doesn't. But I'd rather give it the truthful way. I do not want to go out there and give people a whole load of rubbish that they're going to think, oh, we're going to get the hopes up, and then all of a sudden go boom, like John say, for instance. I mean, I know John sort of looks at me and thought that I was being a bit negative, but I wasn't being negative because we could finish in the top four, we could win the league. And I said, look, John, I said, look, he says, what do you think? And I said, well, John, if we finish seventh, I'll be happy. And he sort of looked and said, well, after no, but do you not think we'll? And I said, John, look, I'm keeping my feet on the ground. Yes, we're sitting third in the Premier League. It's great where we are, but
Yeah.
I'm a realist. Let's see where we are come April. And John thought I was being a bit negative about that because when we were backstage, he says, well, I felt it was a bit. And I said, no, John, I'm not being negative. What I'm saying is,
No.
let's see where we are in April. If we're still in and around that top four in April, that's when you say, right, okay, we go for it and we try and get in that top four. Or if we're in that top four, we stay in that top four. I says, but I'm not being
So,
negative. I'm just trying to be real. And that's what I'm trying to do with a lot of the yes, we're great where we are. We're in third position. It's absolutely fantastic, and we want to stay up there. Of course we do. I would be so happy if we come at the end of the season, we're finishing that top four. I'll be ecstatic. But I don't
me
want to
too.
build myself up thinking, oh, we'll be in that top four, and then all of a sudden we finish seventh, and I think, oh, well, I'm disappointed now. If I
Yeah.
before the season started, I gave my predictions on John's channel. I said, look, we'll win the Carabao Cup. This was my thoughts. We'll win the Carabao Cup. We'll finish seventh, so we'll get a Conference League place in the Europa League, but we'll finish in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. That was my predictions for the season, and I thought, yeah, maybe people may think win the Carabao Cup. Are you sure? But I tell you what, the way we're playing at the moment, we're not that far away, so who knows?
No. But then
But I
again,
just like
Tony,
to keep everything real.
but then again, you should have seen the state of me when we were. My brother-in-law mentioned. My brother-in-law's a big, big, big Liverpool fan, season ticket holder, and you should have seen me and him when we were watching the game when Stan Collymore scored and Keegan was over the barrier, and I had my head in my hands for about an hour, and I couldn't believe it. How close were we to winning the title? We were that close to winning the title, and it's like it can't be happening. It can't be happening. And when Keegan came out with the, I would love it if we went up there, and
Yeah,
I'm thinking, it's not our turn. This is not our turn, and it's like over the years, I think it's now going to change, and I'm 100% behind you on this one. I've got a feeling that I'm not even going to say it live, but I've got a feeling that things are going to change for the better in our cabinet room. Um, but over the years, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, it's like, wow. I mean, my beautiful wife, who's watching next door on the TV, came to Wembley when we played Manchester United. I think I've got a photograph somewhere. Edwina put a nice Newcastle United top on, and thousands. Wembley Stadium was just black and white. Man United couldn't sell all their tickets, and I always remember there was thunder and lightning, and it's like we got beat, obviously. But after the game, we went for a lovely meal in London, and Edwina even said to me, "That was an amazing experience being with Newcastle United section." It was just, because you're meeting people I hadn't seen for years. I met a guy from Benwell, hadn't seen for ages. I've seen somebody from Cowgate, seen somebody from Lawfell. And it's like everywhere you go, you were like when I go back up to the motherland, you're always like catching up and stuff like that. And unfortunately, with the pandemic, we've lost a lot of families. But it's that once you're born and bred into the black and white family, it's very hard not to leave it. It's always in your blood. And again, when we lost, I think it was 12, was it 14 points or 12 points? We were ahead with
12, yeah.
Fergie. Yeah, 12. And all I kept thinking is, this is it. We are now on the last road of winning in the Premiership. And it all fell apart then, didn't it? But then again, I always said, once we bought, this is controversial, okay, so put your comments down there. I thought when we bought Tina Asperilla, was it? I thought we started to change a bit. We didn't see, when I seen him getting off the coach or out of a taxi, and it was snowing. Do you remember that bad snow we
Yes.
had? And it was absolutely, and he was freezing, wasn't he? He
Yeah.
must have been thinking, hold on a minute, I've arrived in the northeast and it's bitter cold. But that was a turning point for me. It didn't seem Keegan started to change the team about. I know we had injuries and stuff like that, but I'm now looking for the future. Now I'm looking like, on my nerves on games now under the Ashley era. I knew what was coming. If we were playing West Ham away, if we were playing Tottenham away, if we were playing Arsenal at home, you knew what was coming. We knew we were going to get beat, or we knew, it's going to be a draw. But you still had your thousands turning up. You still had your thousands going away. You're the best support in the world, and it's like, I just want the future now, where you can look forward to a game where we're going to fight for this. We're going to have a go today. We're going to
Yeah.
get a result here, and everybody keeps commenting about, we were lucky at Anfield. Yes, of course we were. But I don't go and, I respect other people who support other clubs. My wife supports Liverpool, as you know. And I wouldn't bang my fist down on the table and say we were cheated. That game is gone. We will get our revenge at St James's Park. We will
Oh,
learn by
yeah.
that experience. We will learn, what happened is, we've just been unlucky to where we are. We should be higher in the league than we are now, but the future is just unbelievable for the younger generation as well. For we've
Yeah.
got the infrastructure of the club to build. We've got what they're going to do with the ground, what they're going to do with the training, the training facilities, what they're going to do, how they're going to expand the stadium. I know you've been to all this before on your channel, and people have been putting comments on the chat, but the future is it's Christmas, isn't it? It's
It
like
is.
you're just wanting better things for the club, and of course, not like in my era, the 70s and 80s. Your shirts you get now, they're just tight. And I'm drinking these diet drinks to fit into one.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Paul's saying there, hi, Tony and Sefton. I would like to use Jody Nation to grow us together. Yeah. Good shout,
Mm.
Paul. Good shout. Um, Mason says this for Manu and Newcastle. Now, it was for Newcastle, Mason, what John was asking. If it was for Manu, I would say Manu in the bottom three.
Yeah.
Chess says it's a Newcastle channel, Mason's for everyone. He says, no, I'm just winding John up. And Chess says, yeah, sorry, but I was a bit slow on the uptake there. And Mason says, I agree with what you say. Leslie says, I'm the same with players, Tony. I get emotionally attached before they sign. Um, yeah, but I just say it's a rumour and that's all I do. And I won't say it unless I see them officially on the website holding a scarf above their head with the top on and saying that they've signed, then that's what I see. That's when it's official. Paul says, I share each YouTube channel across social media sites, as you know. I share on Twitter each morning, but to help us grow, now I'll share on LinkedIn too, and Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, you do, Paul, and I'd like to thank you for that, for every day putting it out there and sharing all those channels. Absolutely fantastic what you do, mate. Keep up the good work. Leslie says, agree. Sefton, Tino's arrival changes the balance of the team. In my opinion, yeah, he did. Uh, Alan McMurtry, one of my other regulars in the chat, he says, fully expect a top 7 finish, but will be disappointed if not. Yeah, I mean, I've gone for 7th place. I mean, I would take that all day. But if we do finish, if we do finish the top 4, yes, brilliant. If we don't, we don't. But you know what? Even if we did finish 7th, it's still success considering where we were last season. We didn't get a win for the first 14 games. And to where we finished last season, I would have been happy finishing 17th place with 2 points above the relegation
Yeah,
zone.
yeah,
To
yeah,
finish
definitely.
11th and way ahead of that relegation zone was
Yeah,
one hell of an
definitely.
achievement.
Yeah, 100%.
And while I'm on, guys,
100%.
I've got the France team in. So if you'd like to know what the France
Oh,
team this afternoon is, it's Larissa in goal with a back four of Koundé, Veron, Upper Meccano, and Hernandez. And two holding midfielders are Chouameni and Rabiot. And the the midfield three is Dembele on the right wing, Griezmann and Mbappe on the left, with Oliver Giroud up front for France. So that is your France team for
strong
this
team, that,
afternoon.
so.
And yeah, and the Poland team is Szczesny in goal. We all remember Szczesny when we got there 4 past him in that wonderful draw against Arsenal. And I was at that game. Berezinski, Glick, and Kiwior at the back three. Then you've got your midfield four with your two wing backs. So you've got Matty Cash of Aston Villa, Szymanski, Krysiak, and Frankowski. And the two midfielders in front of them is Zielinski and Kaminski, with Robert Lewandowski up front for Poland.
Mm.
So apologies if some of my names are not very good there, but
No, very good.
I think
Very
I did
good.
all right there. But yeah, I mean, so it looks like France have put a strong side out after they made 9
Yeah.
changes against Tunisia. But Lewandowski scored his first World Cup goal, and I just wonder if he's going to be fired up this afternoon. He needs to. He should be scoring more in the World Cup, to be fair, because I mean he's a good striker. But
Yeah.
yeah, we will see.
They're 3 hours
Of
ahead
course,
of us, aren't they, Tony?
they are, yeah. So it's like 5 o'clock kickoff over there.
Yeah, so it's 5 o'clock, so the temperatures will be probably
Dropped a
like
little bit.
dropped a little bit. Yeah, it's
England don't play
yeah,
till 10 p.m. their time.
yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, like I said at the start of the show, I'm still going to go for
For
France 4-0. Put your
Mason
comments on the
says,
bottom if you disagree.
yeah. Mason says, in my 10 seasons of supporting Newcastle, I've been through the shit on this season and a half. Feels like a big breath of fresh air came through, and lots has happened and didn't happen under for Marona. Yeah, because we don't like to mention his name. Why should we big that
No,
guy up? I mean Mason. Um, you've got to remember I've been supporting Newcastle since 1982, since I was 10-year old, and so I remember Kevin Keegan coming in for his debut. And I remember when he finished his career and left in a helicopter.
yeah,
And I mean, through the 80s, I know we say it was bad under our former owner, but it was bad in the 80s as well because we had Gordon McKeague, Stan Seymour,
yeah.
and them two were absolutely woeful. I mean, we sold players left, right, and centre. We got rid of Gaza for 2 million to Spurs. We sold Chris Waddle. We sold Peter Beardsley for 1.9 million to
I was
Liverpool.
I was at that game, Tony, at White Hart Lane when Waddle done his debut. Um, it was absolutely packed. The way Ed was absolutely packed. And if my memory's correct, he was substituted. because he was getting that much stick off the Newcastle Newcastle contingent. It was quite funny to watch. But he was still
Yeah,
taxpayer, wasn't he, at the end of the day, you know. But yeah, it's be interesting to see watch the game this afternoon, France. And I'm still going to go for the 4-0. I'm going to go uh, tonight. I'm going to go for in England 3-0 victory.
yeah, I'm going 2-0 Sefton, but yeah, hopefully we'll score more than that. Ches says, I'm on the fence about where we should finish. I expect a top 7, but since the top 4 is there for the taking, I don't mind being a little unrealistic. I'm here for the ride, not the result. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Gary says, if Mr. Cabbage was left in charge, Newcastle would have gone down. Yes, we would have, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
100%. Yeah,
And Mason says, remember when Gregor's Krishviak signed for West Brom and got relegated with him? I mean, coming from playing in the Champions League and getting relegated to the Championship in one season. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's just awful, isn't it? That, I mean, that must be demoralising for any footballer to go from the Champions League and go to a side that gets relegated. I mean, yeah, and thankfully West Brom got rid of Cabbage Heat, and poor buggers are
that
still
was another.
struggling at the moment.
That was a. That was another farce, wasn't it? That
Mm,
was another farce. It was. It was. It's like, why have the players training for 2 days, and you used to let them um, go off and have them come in the following day. Eddie Howe seems to have that balance right, you know.
yeah,
And it's like previously what I was saying to you was the fact that under the previous ownership, you knew if you looked at the fixture list, you knew we weren't going to get anything out of that game. We, you knew we weren't going to go away to Hull City or Leeds United and get a result. You just knew it. But now it's like you're excited for the next game. The Chelsea game was
yes,
unbelievable, and it's like um, it's worth having Sky on. It's worth subscribing, which is another controversial issue with me because 1 minute it's on Prime, the next minute it's on Sky, the next minute it's on BT. It's like, hold on a minute, you, people can't afford 3 different channels to watch games like that, you know, and it's like it's just the future's good. I'm more excited now than I was when the Keegan era, the entertainers, as we say, and it's like it's just it brings a happy atmosphere around, doesn't it? All you have to face. Looking
yeah,
forward to the next game. Looking forward to playing Manchester City's, your Chelsea's, your Liverpool's, your Everton's, your Villas. You know, it's a really nice seeing brilliant players doing their trade on the pitch. Miggy Amaron has got to be my favourite player. Miggy
no,
Amaron is just
yeah,
transformed J7 as well, you know.
yeah,
Bogman, Trippier, Pope, and it's like wow. It's just watching it. It's like watching another level. And
yeah,
again, what I said to you before, I'm hoping, I'm hoping they're not played in the World Cup. At least they come back refreshed.
absolutely, yeah, definitely. I'll just put this on. If you like what you see, then please hit the like button as it makes the channel more visible in the search. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button as it helps the channel grow and it's free to do. Finally, hit the bell button. That will notify you when I'm live or put a pre-recorded video on and any upcoming shows. Thank you very much. So yeah, thank you for that, guys. Mason says, have you seen who Leeds went back? No, who did they want
Yes,
back? Please let us know,
yes.
Mason. Be interested to
Woods,
find out. And
Woods.
Leslie says, well said, Chaz. No one can take away the highs we've had since Eddie came in. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the guy's done really, really well. I mean, guys, we're going to have about another 10 minutes before we wrap up.
No, I could
And
talk all day.
no, no, that's fine. No, no, that's fine. Um,
I think is it Chelsea who mentioned get the Leeds one back? I
Mason.
think it's Mason. I'm Mason. I think you're referring to Woods, aren't you?
Yeah,
I think that's what he's referring to.
Peter
Um,
Morton says, good show, lads. Thanks, Peter.
right, can I tell you my favourite before we wrap up? Can I tell you my favourite Christmas gifts reviews before you go?
Yeah,
One is everybody have a look at this one. Junior Turner, Banks of the River Tyne, get it, order it, download it, cracking song. Um, it hasn't been it hasn't been out the pack yet. I've still got it with the the disc, but cracking song
it
that.
is. It's a terrific song.
What a writer, what a writer. The other thing is I haven't read it yet because it's getting wrapped up with Christmas for me. The quiz book of Newcastle United. Probably Boxing Day, Tony. When I come in from work, I'll be sending you some questions on that one. See how your knowledge is.
No doubt.
But and the other one, which I really enjoyed, I think Paul's got the book as well, is Every Boy's Dream. It's a cracking book. It really is a good book. It's well worth a read as well. All the content. The icing on the cake, which is controversial because a lot of people don't watch the show, is Home and Bargain. They've got these classic toys in, and they're selling out soon as you get them. So people in the chat, look out for them in Home and Bargain.
Rodney.
Yep. And
Uncle Albert.
yeah, the only one I'm missing and the hunt song for is Del Boy.
What are they?
The figures for Only Fools and Horses.
Oh, the
So I've been
figures, yeah.
picked. So we've been picking them up as we go because my wife said what I want for Christmas is Only Fools and Horses. So these are getting wrapped up for the tree, but one is missing, and you can't get them anywhere. Seemingly, as soon as you come into the shop, they're flying off the shelf, and because they're going to be collectibles, you see.
Where'd you get them
So
from?
Home and Bargain,
Oh, Homebot. Yeah.
Home and Bargain, and it's the price at I think it's £8.49 or £8.50, something like that. But these are going under the tree for a present for somebody. But you can't get Del Boy. You can get Uncle Albert in the series, and you can get Rodney. But I'm missing one, and I'm on the hunt. So anybody in the chat, if you see one in Hobenbarg and around the northwest, you put the comments under there.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. I'll just go into some comments here. Mason says, yes, it is about the song. He says, I love that song and what a voice he has. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. It's a great song. I think they should play it at the ground, to be honest. Jesse says, Sefton you should be on the show more often, mate. You and Tony bounce off each other very well and makes an informative, flowy show. I'm sure Sefton will come back on again. And he says to Les, yeah. Cost me, will it? Yeah. But no, I mean, yeah. If anybody does see them, give it Sefton's way. Yeah. I'll tell you what I have got, and it's from the 2009-2010 season. Do you remember when we played Ipswich Town? And we beat them 5-0 down at Portman Road.
Oh
And
yeah.
they had the half and half scarf out, half Ipswich, half Newcastle, and it was the Bobby Robson Foundation.
Bobby Robson Foundation, yeah.
And I remember wanting to get the scarf, and I thought, oh, they're sold out. And I managed to get onto Ipswich Town's website, and I went into the store, and they said, oh, they've just come back into stock. So I managed to order one. I got one, and it's actually still in its actual sleeve as well. It's never
Wow.
actually been. It's never been taken off the card. It's been stayed in the card all that time.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I find that it's like a collector's item, and
yeah.
yeah,
I love collector's items. Just to look at them, especially the history of Newcastle United. I've got a bit of merchandise upstairs, and I just like history. Like for example, I've got this one here. Nothing to do with Newcastle United, by the way. But when
no,
I went to Band Aid in 1985, I've still got the original program, and that was July the 13th, 1985, and that was at Wembley. That's the only time I've been to Wembley and enjoyed myself. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, I've been there for a few England games. The last England game I went to, I think, was
Yeah,
2017
well,
when they beat Slovakia 2-1
yeah,
when Dubravka was in goal for Slovakia.
yeah. But watching your program yesterday, your broadcast yesterday out at Wembley, I remember getting a free ticket to go and see. My memory is correct. I think it was Tranmere Rovers. No, it wasn't. It was Leicester City and Tranmere Rovers in the League Cup final, and I got a free ticket off my brother-in-law, so we travelled down to, and it's the only time I've been in the Tranmere Rovers end with a Tranmere Rovers flag, and it's up in the loft still. I was going to take it. I was going to take it with us to and flog it to the Tranmere fans when we played them in the cup. But no, I love memorabilia, and I bet there's loads of stuff out there. Like for example, I used to own Alan Gowland's autobiography, Malcolm McDonald's autobiography, etc., You know, and it's like upstairs. I've got the 1950s Newcastle United because I was fortunate to meet the great Jackie Milburn. Such a gentleman, you know. And I went to a golfing tournament with Bobby Charlton as a guest speaker, and he came on sat beside me because the word got round. I was the only Geordie in I think it was Pagewood and Butley in Cheshire.
Mm-hmm.
And he came and sat and we had a little chat. Oh, where you from? You know. And I says, well, funny enough, I met Jackie Milburn, and I was lucky enough because he was the same height as me. And it was like I was asking him about the goal he scored against Blackpool, and the knowledge of the guy was unbelievable, you know. And it's like I love history. Remember meeting Jeff? Remember Jeff Nolte?
Yeah,
Do you remember Jeff Nolte? Meeting players like that, you know. Mickey Quinn. I met Mickey
yeah,
Quinn in. Do you remember the nightclub called Madison's? Was it Madison's?
yes,
Beside
yes,
Tiffany's? I
yes.
remember, yeah, we had just came back from a away game. I think it was at Joker Park, um, and we came back and we went into Madison that night, and the team came in with their black blazers, and of course that done my night in. You know, Mickey Quinn. We had a few pints with Mickey Quinn and the team. Yeah, so historically, but the future now is can't wait, can't wait to
Yeah.
like.
I mean, talking about Mickey Quinn, um, whenever I go down there, I quite often bump into him, believe it or not, and always have a chat with him and about Newcastle. And he's still very passionate about the club, believe it or not. He loves the club. He loves Newcastle. That
Do you
um,
remember the song, Tony? Do you
what
remember
Mickey
the
Quinn's
song?
song. Yes, vaguely I
Come
can.
on
Yes,
without,
yeah,
come
that's it.
on within. You've not seen nothing like the mighty Quinn.
That's right. Yes, but yeah, because he's a horse trainer in Newmarket, you see.
Right,
So
yeah. He
he's got
was
his own
with Terry
team.
Mack, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Wasn't
I
Terry?
mean, but I've seen him quite a few times. Not Tony Mack, but Mickey Quinn. But yeah, he's got time to speak to you, and he's stand there and talk to you good 10, 20 minutes, talking
Well,
about
I've got,
Newcastle.
I've
He's
got, I've
very
got an
passionate.
exclusive for you. I've got an exclusive for you. About 3 years ago, before pandemic, I was playing golf somewhere, and where was it? Over in Cheshire way somewhere. And guess who I bumped into?
Quinny.
Michael Owen.
Owen. Oh gosh.
Went to shake. He came to shake my hand, and I turned around and lost my ball.
Oh God.
yeah. But yeah, it's been a great show.
Yeah.
It's been it's a one-off. I may come on again. It all depends on time allowed. Um, keep it, keep supporting the channel, everybody. Tony's made this from nothing to what it is now. Hit that like button. Hit the like button like that. Hit it and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the little bell. You will get future shows coming up. That's the
Oh yeah.
one. Boss.
Thank you very much for that,
So,
Sefton. So yeah, so guys, that's it for now. Wrapping up for now, but I will be back at 5:30 with the warm up to the England versus Senegal match. So we'll have the team lineups for you, and we look ahead to the game. And then I'm also back at 9:30 tonight with the World Cup roundup as usual. So we come back with the games against France and Poland, and then England, Senegal as well. We'll have a look back on that game. So yeah, guys, thank you very much, and just pop into a few comments. Ches laughing at Sefton over that. Alan says 3-1 England tonight. Good day, lads. Ches gives a thumbs up. And Rowley says, great show, Tony and Sefton. Sefton, you'll have to get Mr. Sefton to let you come on again. And Leslie says, thanks all. Catch you next time. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming on. And thank you to Sefton coming on as well. Absolutely brilliant. And hope to see him again on here at some point. And yeah, the only way is up. And like I say, this is what I've done with the channel. I mean, I was asked by lots of people when I was filming for John that week. He was in Turkey. Have you not got a channel? Why have you not got a channel? You should have a channel. You're great. You should do this. Should do this. So I was like, right, okay, I'll take the plunge. And when John came back, I had a word with John and said, look, John, I've set up a channel. I didn't want to go on live until I actually spoke to John first, because I thought it was only out of respect that I said to John first before, I didn't want him finding out from anyone else that I had a channel going. So that's why I kept it back until John came back and I spoke with John, as I say, more out of respect than anything else. And John's been absolutely brilliant with me. And I do go on his shows as well still. And
yeah, he's a good guy, isn't he?
yeah, he's a great guy.
He's a great guy, John. Yeah, I've got a lot of
Jess
respect.
says, you're doing a roundup, Tony, tonight? Yes, I am, Jess. So yeah, I'll be back at 9:30 as well, and I'm back at 5:30 with a warm-up show as well. So, and Leslie says, yeah, 9:30 GMT, Jess. But yeah, guys, thanks very much, and we shall see you later, and hopefully we see an England win. And yes, don't forget, see if you can find a Del Boy somewhere around, because Sefton's desperately after one. So, guys,
come on, England! Come on, England! See you later,
boys.
Sean.
Thank you.
Bye, chaps.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.